We are doing exercise 7b, and in this video I'll be answering question 2, which says, write down the equation of the image obtained when the graph of each of the functions below is transformed by, and then we have 3 different transformations, which we will be applying to y equals x squared. So let's begin by looking at I, which is asking us to apply a dilation of a factor of a half from the y-axis. How are we going to answer this question? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to break it up into 3 steps: A, B, and C. The first thing that we're going to do is determine what our new point will be. So we know we're starting with xy. We're then going to apply our dilation, and then we're going to get our image, which we're calling x dash y dash. So what is x dash going to be, and what is y dash going to be? So we know that we're starting with xy, and then we're dilating by a factor of a half from the y-axis. Now, when I'm dilating from the y-axis, that's going to affect my x. So it's actually going to be 1/2 x. And nothing is actually going to happen to my y. So we're going to leave the y just like that. Having done this, we can now see that x dash equals 1/2 x and y dash equals y. That's step A. Step B is going to be rearranging. So what we found in step A was that x dash equals 1/2 x and y dash equals y. So when I say rearrange, we're going to rearrange so that we solve for x. So what we're going to be ending up with is x dash 2x dash equals x. So all I did here was times both sides by 2. And for this one, it's going to be exactly the same. Nothing is going to change here. So now that we have x and y, we now come to our third step, which I'm calling replace x and y. So here's our original graph, y equals x squared, and in the y spot, we're going to put in, well, just y. And in my x spot, I'm going to put in 2x dash. So I'm going to get 2x dash, and I'm going to square that. So now my last step will be, well, my answer is going to be y equals 4x squared. And that's going to be my answer. Let's now move on to our second transformation. So let me come here, remove this, and here we go. So now we're going to be applying a dilation of a factor of 5 from the y-axis. So again, the exact same logic here. First step is going to be finding our new coordinate. So if I am dilating by a factor of 5 from the y-axis, that's going to affect my x. So I'm going to be timesing my x by 5. And my y will remain the same. So now I know that x dash equals 5x and y dash equals y. So when it becomes time to rearrange, I'll write this out first, 5x. And then over here, we have y dash equals y. So I'm going to rearrange this to solve for x. So I'm going to be left with x dash over 5 equals x. And this, of course, is just going to stay the same. So now we come down to step C, which tells me to replace x and y. So in my y spot, I just put a y because that's what it is. And in my x spot, I put this. So what I'm going to end up with is equals x dash minus 5, and I forgot my little dash here, squared. So I'll be left with, as my final answer, y equals x squared over 25. That will be my answer. Perfect. Let us now do our final one, which is a dilation of a factor of 2/3 from the x-axis. So again, what I've done is broken this down into 3 steps. The first step will be finding my new image. Now, if I am dilating from the x-axis, that's going to affect my y. So my x in this case will be just x. Would just be x, and my y will be Well, I'm going to times it by my dilation factor, so it'll be 2/3 y. Perfect. Now that we've done that, so what we've determined is that x dash equals x and y dash equals 2/3. Y dash equals 2/3 of y. So we come here now, and I can say, all right, I know that, let's keep the colors the same, that's very important. We know that x dash equals x, and we know that y dash equals 2/3 y. I now am going to solve this for y, and what I'm going to end up getting is 3/2y dash equals y. And this, of course, doesn't have to be changed. I then come down to my last step, which is replacing my x and y. So here, my y is going to be 3/2y dash, and my x is simply going to be x dash squared. So now we come to writing what it's finally going to be. So if I was to rearrange this, what I'm going to end up getting is y equals 2/3x squared. And that will be my final answer. Hopefully this was useful in answering this question, and I'll see you in the next video.